The night before the entrance exam, someone drugged me. When I woke up, the exam had already started. The man beside me who had secured a graduate offer was still laughing. Be my woman. As compensation, I did not cry, did not make a scene. And I didn't raise my voice. I just picked up the phone. The first call, to my dad, a criminal defense lawyer with 30 years of practice. The second call, 110. The third call, my journalism school best friend. He ruined my graduate entrance exam. I smiled. Ready to ruin his entire life. December 23rd. The first day of the graduate entrance exam, Ian's consciousness slowly rose from the thick darkness. Like a drowning person struggling to reach the surface, the temples were throbbing. An indescribable nausea churned in the stomach. The finger moved slightly. The touch was the hotel bedsheet. She propped up her eyelids and lifted her head. Her gaze immediately landing on the phone on the bedside table. 9:47. The politics exam started at 8:30. Chi-Yan's mind buzzed. And then, very quickly, the dizziness had not yet faded, when her thoughts were pierced by a steel needle. Cold and lucid, the bathroom door opened. Zhongbei walked out, buttoning the top button of his shirt, his hair still wet. He saw Chi-Yan awake, and his expression on his face could even be considered calm. Wake up. Chi-Yao didn't speak. Her gaze shifted away from Zhongbei's face. Sweeping across the room, her own admission ticket was still in her bag, and the suitcase stood by the wall. The room door's deadbolt was locked. Zhongbei pulled up a chair and sat down, twisted open a bottle of mineral water, and took a sip. Chi-Yan. I know you must be very angry right now. His tone even carried a hint of understanding. But if you have to blame someone, blame that you and Fong Ning ended up in the same exam room. Chi-Yan's fingers clenched beneath the quilt. Fong Ning. That woman who has been slandering her behind her back about campus bullying since freshman year. That woman who tightens her grip on Zhongbei with her crying and playing. The victim. Zhongbei continued. Whenever she sees you, she'll think of the pain you caused when you bullied her, and it will affect her performance. I can't let her endure this. Chi-Yan turned his gaze back, looking at him. And what about me? Her voice was hoarse, as if sandpaper had scraped her throat. On what grounds do you do this? Zhongbei fell silent for 2 seconds, seemingly convinced that his reason was perfectly adequate. Then he said a sentence that almost made Chi-Yan physically nauseated. As compensation, you can be my woman. The room fell silent for 3 seconds. Chi-Yan looked at Zhongbei's rather decent face, and at the confidence in his eyes that said, I have already offered you a great favor. She suddenly smiled. Not a cold smile. It was a light, gentle smile, as if she had heard a particularly funny joke. Zhongbei was stunned by her reaction. What are you laughing at? Chi-Yan ignored him. She lifted the quilt and got out of bed. With bare feet on the carpet, she walked to the window, pulled back the curtain, and looked outside. The hotel parking lot, the examination building across the street. She remembered the hotel near the exam site where she stayed last night. Reviewed until 11 before falling asleep. Drank the cup of stimulating coffee that Zhongbei brought before bed. Chi-Yan looked down at his clothes. Pajamas. The same as last night. No signs of being touched. He just wanted her to miss the exam. Having figured that out, Chi-Yan instead became completely calm. She walked back to the bed and picked up her phone. Zhongbei frowned. What are you going to do? Chi-Yan pressed the first number in the address book. There was a two-tone ring. Girl, how did today's exam go? Chi's father, Chi Zheng, spoke from the other end, his voice carrying the warmth typical of a middle-aged man. Chi-Yan leaned against the window, looking at Zhongbei's face. Dad, I didn't take the exam. What? What happened? Chi-Yan's voice was steady. Steady in a way that didn't seem like it belonged to a 23-year-old girl. Last night someone spiked my drink. I've just woken up. The exam has already been going for over an hour. There was a moment of silence on the other end of the line. A very brief moment. Then Zhezheng's Voic. Changed. No longer the gentle kindness of a benevolent father. but an old lawyer who has spent 30 years immersed in criminal cases hearing the case details. That cold calm that goes deep to the bones. Is the person still at the scene? Yes. People you know. Recognize. Okay. Qi Jing said. First, do not leave the room. Second, do not touch any cups or beverage containers. Third, I will come over now. You first call 110. Okay. Qian hung up the phone. Zhongbei's face finally changed color. Who are you calling? Qian didn't look at him. She pressed the second number. Hello. This is the 110 emergency service desk. Hello. I want to report a crime. Qian's voice was clear and steady. The location is 1207. Jia Hotel, Chuafu Road, Linen City. Unknown drugs were placed in my drinks, causing me to fall unconscious for more than 10 hours, causing me to miss this morning's graduate entrance exam. The person involved is still in the room. The operator asked. Are you safe now? Safe. He hasn't done anything else. Okay. We'll send someone over right away. Please do not leave the scene. Qi Yan hung up the phone. Zhongbei stood up. His face turned pale, but his lips kept moving. Qi Yan, you don't have to go this far. We can discuss this. Qi Yan shot him a glance. Just one glance. Zhongbei's words stuck in his throat. For the first time, he saw something in Qi Yan's eyes. Not anger, not fear. It was a superior, coldly detached gaze with no warmth, like watching a dead person who has already been sentenced. Qi Yan dialed the third call. Hello, Yan. Aren't you taking an exam? Xiao Li's voice still carried the nasality of someone just waking up. Qi Yan said. Ali. Get up. Bring your equipment. I'm giving you a newsworthy topic that could win a journalism prize. There was a half-second of quiet on the other end of the line. Then Xiao Li's voice suddenly sharpened with clarity. Send me your location. Qian hung up the phone and looked up. Zomb. Ei was still standing there. His face no longer had any color. Qian put on his coat and casually pulled his hair back behind his ears. Then she smiled and said something to Zhongbei. Didn't you say you'd make it up to me by making me your woman? She curled her lips. Sorry about that. I am rather greedy. I want your graduate school qualification, your degree, your criminal record, and an archive showing you can never re-enter the system for the rest of your life. She leaned against the window, the sunlight falling on her face. Enough or not? Zhongbei's Adam's apple bobbed up and down. He suddenly found his legs going weak. Chapter 2. The police arrived very quickly. 15 minutes. When two uniformed police officers knocked on the door of room 1207. The scene they saw was like this. A young girl sat in a chair by the window, legs crossed, her expression as calm as someone waiting for a delivery. A young man stood in the center of the room, his face pale. The moment he saw the police, his lips moved, but no sound came out. Who reported the incident? Qi Yan stood up. Me. She cooperatively produced her ID card and admission ticket. A tall police officer, the name tag read Chen glanced at the exam time on the admission ticket, then looked at his watch again. 10:20 in the morning. The exam was in progress, and the girl obviously couldn't have appeared in the exam room. You say someone drugged her in her drink? Yes. Qi Yan pointed to the bedside table. That paper cup, the coffee he brought last night. I drank it and roughly 10 minutes later I lost consciousness. Chen Hao looked at Zhongbei. Who is this? Zhongbei moved his lips, hesitating for a moment. Qi Yan answered for him. Zhongbei, a senior at our university, has already qualified for postgraduate recommendation. Zhongbei finally spoke, his voice steadier than before. He was striving, trying to look less panicked. Officer, this is a misunderstanding. I only put sleeping pills in her coffee, so she could sleep a bit longer. I didn't touch her. Chen Hao's eyes changed. Her partner, a slightly older female police officer, walked over from the doorway, and her gaze lingered on Zhongbei's face for 3 seconds. What did you just say? The female officer asked. Did you admit to drugging her drink? Zhongbei realized he had said too much, and his face turned even paler. I didn't mean to. Okay. Chen Hao waved his hand and looked at Qi Yan. We'll take that paper cup back for testing. You now need to go to the hospital to draw blood for a test of internal drug residues. The sooner, the better. If time passes, the components will metabolize. Qi Yan nodded. Sure. She picked up her bag and naturally slipped her phone into the pocket of her coat. Zhong Bei suddenly stepped forward. Qi Yan, do you really want to do this? His voice carried a note of urgency. Even a touch of disbelief. Just because of one exam. You can retake it next year. Qi Yan paused in her steps. She turned back. Just because of one exam. She repeated this sentence. Zhong Bei's gaze met Qi Yan's eyes. Then he saw Qi Yan smile. A very light smile. With almost imperceptible curvature. Zhong Bei, do you know the maximum sentence for the crime of dumping dangerous substances? Zhong Bei's face stiffened completely. Qi Yan turned and walked out of the room. At the end of the corridor, the elevator dinged as it opened. A middle-aged man strode out. A dark overcoat. A briefcase. Steady steps. Not much expression on his face. But those who know Qi Xin know that the less expression he has, the more serious the matter. Dad. Qi Yan walked over. He glanced at her, taking in every detail from head to toe. There were no injuries to the daughter. He nodded. Proceed with the blood test results for now. I'll talk with the investigating officer. Zhou Jing walked past his daughter and headed toward room 1207. As he passed by the door, he saw Zhong Bei standing inside the room, surrounded by two policemen. Zhong Bei also saw him. A middle-aged man, with an aura so heavy it was like a wall. Zhng Bei doesn't know why, but his legs went weak again. Qi Jing did not enter the door. He stood at the doorway, nodded slightly to Chen Hao, and handed over a business card. Qi Jing. Jingheng Law Firm. I am the victim's attorney and her father. Chen Hao took the business card and glanced at it. His expression subtly changed. Jingheng Law Firm. One of the top 3 criminal defense firms in the city. Jing Qi is a name he has heard before. A figure of not too big, not too small in the circle specializing in criminal cases, handling cases ranging from light to heavy, with some serving years and others life imprisonment. Chen Hao subconsciously glanced at Zhong Bei again. That look was very complicated, as if he were looking at someone who didn't know life from death. Zhong Bei shifted his gaze away from Qi Jing's business card. His lips began to dry out. Lawyer, he muttered. Is your dad a lawyer? Qi Yan has already gone far. No one answered him. In the hotel lobby, when Qi Yan pushed open the glass door and stepped out, a girl with a ponytail and a backpack was jumping down from a taxi. Xiao Li, a senior in the journalism department, the chief reporter of the school newspaper, a tough rival who had already earned a provincial news award nomination during internship. When she ran over, the DSLR camera swung on her neck. Qi Yan. Xiao Li ran up to her, scrutinizing her from top to bottom. Then he grabbed her arm. Are you okay? It's nothing. Xiao Li's eyes reddened for a moment, then quickly withdrew. What about that person? The upstairs. The police are here. Xiao Li took a deep breath. Go ahead and tell me what's going on. Qi Yan briefly explained the matter. Xiao Li's face shifted from worry to shock, then to pallor. Did he drug you not to help another woman pass her exam? Yes. What kind of mental illness logic is this? Qi Yan didn't speak, and smiled briefly. Xiao Li clenched the strap of her backpack. Yan. Her voice lowered. What do you want me to do? Not yet. Qi Yan said. Finish the evidence chain first. Blood test report. Cup tests. Hotel surveillance. Once we have all that, then you act. Okay. Xiao Li nodded. I'll wait for your signal. Qi Yan got into the taxi called by Xiao Li and went to the hospital to draw blood. In the car, she leaned against the window, watching the street outside retreat rapidly. Today is December 23rd. This should have been the most important day of her life. She had prepared for the postgraduate entrance examination for a full year. Every day she woke up at 5 to memorize vocabulary. Only after the library closed. Wow. She returned to the dormitory. Didn't go home for summer vacation. Spent a full 2 months soaking in the study room. All the effort, all the sacrifices, was ruined by a cup of coffee. Chi closed his eyes. Her hand clenched the phone in her pocket. It's okay. A year's effort can be started over. But Zhongbei's life will not come back. The phone vibrated once. A WeChat message. From Fong Ning. Chi Yan. I heard you didn't take the exam today. What happened? Are you under too much pressure? Do you want me to talk to the counselor for you? Sent a worried sticker. Chi Yan looked at this message. The corners of his mouth slightly lifted. Not in a hurry. One by one. Chapter 3. The hospital blood draw happened quickly. Chi Yan cooperated by filling out the forms, and the nurse inserted the needle and drew 2 tubes of blood. When will the test results come out? Chi Yan asked. If it's urgent. Tomorrow morning. Urgent. After leaving the hospital, Qi Zheng called. Did they draw blood? Done. Okay. Qi Zheng's voice was very steady. Like he was discussing a case with a colleague. I had the hotel monitors checked by the police. Last night at 9:43, Zhongbei came out of his own room 12:09 and carried a paper cup into your room. At 10:02, he came out again, without the cup. Qi Yan nodded. Does he have a room key? He told the front desk he was your boyfriend and obtained a spare room key. Qi Yan remained silent for a second. The front desk didn't verify it. No. There are loopholes in the hotel management, and they can be held responsible later. But that's the civil part. No rush yet, Qi Zheng said. As for the criminal part, he has already confessed to administering the drug at the scene, and there is footage from the law enforcement recorder, combined with the blood test report and the cup test results. The evidentiary chain is basically closed. What's his current condition? Taken back to the police station for a statement. Administrative detention is on hold for now, and the final classification will depend on the test results. If it involves controlled substances like triazolam, severity will be greater. Qian cleared his throat with an daughter. Qi Jing paused. I'm sorry to trouble you. These 4 characters, spoken by that eternally calm and rational father, made Qian's nose suddenly prick with sourness. She tilted her head back and swallowed that emotion. I'm not aggrieved, she said. I didn't lose out. After hanging up, Qi Yan stood at the hospital entrance, taking a deep breath. The biting cold poured into her throat. The bitter chill of late December in linen was bone deep. She took out her phone and opened Fong Ning's WeChat. That message of care was still hanging in the chat. Qi Yan didn't reply. She opened Fong Ning's Moments. Latest update. A photo outside the examination hall with the caption Stay focused. Graduate student. I'm here. The location shows. Linen University. 3rd examination room. Qi and Qian's admission ticket indicate they are in the same examination room. Qian swiped the screen and scrolled down. A post from 3 days ago. Forwarded an article titled Stepping Out of the Shadow of Campus Bullying. How I relearned to embrace life. Caption. I am grateful for the protection of those around me, which gives me the courage to keep going. The likes and comments below were full of so sad. You are so brave. Hug. Qian looked at it for 2 seconds and then left the Moments. The so-called campus bullying. In freshman year, during physical education class grouping. Qi Yan was the group leader. Fong Ning was 15 minutes late and was marked as absent according to the rules. Just this matter. Fong Ning posted a message in the dormitory group chat saying she had been targeted, describing tears and all how Qi Yan humiliated her in public. Since then, Qi Yan bullies Fong Ning has become a widely spread legend. Qi Yan has explained it. It's useless, because Fong Ning looked so heartbreaking when she cried that everyone was willing to believe her. Zhongbei appeared at that time. The justice messenger. Knight. Qi Yan once found it absurd and ridiculous. But that was all after all. Fong Ning did not cause any substantial impact on her studies and life. Until today. Qi Yan put her phone back in her pocket and hailed a taxi back to the school. She is going to do something. On the way back to the dormitory, she sent a message to Counselor Mr. Zhou. Teacher Zhou. I am Qi Yan. Today I was unable to attend the graduate entrance exam first round due to an emergency. The specific reason involves a criminal case, and I have already reported it to the police. I will submit a written explanation and relevant proof later. May I ask what procedures I need to follow with the school? After sending it, Qi Yan edited a second message. In addition, I would like to retrieve the counselor's notes from my first year about the conflict between me and Fong Ning and the related processing documents. May I ask where I can apply for them? Send. Back in the dorm. The three roommates weren't there, they had all gone to exams. Qi Yan sits at her desk. Turning on the computer, she created a new folder named Evidence. Then she begins to sort them one by one. Chat screenshots from freshman year, the original text of Fong Ning's complaint in the group chat. My own explanation and response at the time. Records of the counselor's mediation. Testimonies from several informed classmates what actually happened during the physical education class at the time. Also, the most important thing. She pulled up a chat history. From 3 months ago, Fong Ning's friend Lin Xiaoman accidentally played it aloud in a public class. And Fong Ning's voice was playing from her phone. What about that thing with Qi Yan? It's already over. I was just being melodramatic at the time, but Zhong Beixin believed it. So let him believe it if he wants to. He's been so good to me. There were more than 10 people in the classroom who heard this at the time. Qi Yan took a screenshot on the spot. And a classmate next to her helped her verify it. She has kept this screenshot all along. Originally I thought it was useless if Fong Ning was going to act. Let her act. Now it seems that the value of this piece of evidence is far greater than she imagined. Qi Yan tidied the folder and leaned back in the chair. Zhong Bei said he drugged him to protect Fong Ning. But Fong Ning herself said that that affair has long since passed. Well then. As Zhong Bei really deceived? Or is he using this excuse himself? Qi Yan pondered for a moment and felt it didn't matter. Whether it's because of a scam or voluntary. He acted. That was enough. The phone vibrated again. Qi Jing sent a message. The urgent blood test results are back. Triazolam. A controlled substance. The matter has been Ned. It's enough to convict. Qi Yan looked at the characters for triazolam. Triazolam. Commonly known as a sleeping pill or date rape drug. Controlled substances of a psychotropic category are illegal to possess and use privately. For serving others drinks, the nature directly upgrades. Qi's finger paused on the screen for a second. Then she replied with a single character. Okay. Then. She sent a message to Qiaoli. The chain of evidence is closed. Triazolam. You can start. Qiaoli replied in an instant. Received. I've endured this for 3 years. Sis. This time let the whole school see who is the real victim. Chapter 4. News of Zhong Bei being taken away spread around the school that very afternoon. There are many versions. I heard a strong attempted assault on a woman failed and she was caught. No. It wasn't. It was drugging. What drug? Sleeping pills. Triazolam. The date rape drug. Holy crap. Is this person sick or what? Zhong Bei's counselor was the first to receive the notification. Then the institute office. Then the student affairs office. Then the academic affairs office. The entire information chain exploded with sparks. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the college leaders held an emergency meeting. Not because they cared about Qi Yan, but because Zhong Bei is a graduate school applicant who is guaranteed admission. Moreover, he is a graduate student guaranteed admission who is key cultivation, personally recommended by a professor, and has already been assigned a mentor. If something were to happen to him, the college's reputation, the compliance of the recommendation exemption process, the joint responsibility of the supervising professor, all of it would have to be brought up and examined again. What exactly happened here? The vice dean frowned. Why is he so stupid? The counselor wore with a pained expression on their face. Note. Keep original weight translation. The counselor had a frowning face. The Chinese with a grim expression means sour face or grimace. We should translate. The counselor wore a grimace. I'm not entirely sure about specifics either. The police are still processing things. But Qian's father has already come. Supposedly involved in criminal defense. The deputy dean's brow furrowed even tighter. Criminal defense. Which institute? Zhengheng. The conference room fell silent for 2 seconds. The vice president rubbed his temples. Zhengheng Law Firm. Boss Qi Zheng. Last year. In the black-related case at the provincial high court, the prosecution's evidence chain was shattered into pieces. And the case was directly overturned. The daughter of this kind of person was passive. The deputy dean looked around at the people present. Notify the tutor of Zhongbei to come over. Also, pull out all of Zhongbei's graduate study material for the pre-enrollment exam. Go through it from start to finish. And I'll first check if there are any procedural flaws. What if there are? The counselor asked. If there is, then he deserves it. If not, the vice president paused. That requires even more caution. If this gets blown up, even our fairness in recommending students could be questioned. The door was knocked. The people from the academic affairs office pushed the door and came in, looking unhappy. Vice President, we just received news Qian's father, acting as a lawyer, submitted a written letter to the school. What content is this? To request all materials for Zhongbei's guaranteed admission through recommendation, including academic papers, supervisor letters of recommendation, and comprehensive evaluation scores. The deputy dean's temple pulsed once. What reason? In his letter, it states, given that Zhongbei is suspected of using the status of a guaranteed graduate student to commit crimes, there is reason to doubt that the process of obtaining his recommended exemption involves payoffs or academic falsification. Please cooperate with the verification as required. The meeting room fell quiet again. The vice dean slowly let out a breath. This pool is such a clever method. He didn't come to take out his anger on his daughter. He is getting to the root of the matter directly. As long as there is even a hint of problem found in the graduate school application materials paper plagiarism, grade fakery, violations in the recommendation process, Zhongbei's eligibility for graduate admission would be more than just a matter of being cancelled. That would be deception. Very different in nature. Meanwhile, in the police station, Zhongbei sits in the interrogation room. Opposite are 2 police officers. His face had shifted through white, gray, and blue over the past few hours. I've told you, I just let her sleep a little. I didn't do anything to hurt her body. Chen Hao flipped through the transcript book, not lifting his head. Where did the medicine come from? Zhongbei swallowed. Bought online. Which platform? One of them. A chat group. Someone in the group is selling it. Chen Hao looked up at him. You know that temazepam is a controlled psychedelic drug, right? Zhongbei's lips moved. No, I know there are controls, but illegally possessing controlled psychotropic drugs and drugging someone else's drink to cause them to faint. Chen Hao set his pen down. Did you study law? No, I studied business administration. Then I'll teach you a little law. Chen Hao's voice was calm. The crime of administering dangerous substances carries up to 3 years imprisonment. If serious consequences occur, for example, the victim misses a major exam that could affect their life path, the sentence is further increased. Zhongbei's fingers began to tremble. I didn't mean to hurt her. You slipped a controlled psychotropic drug into her drink without her knowledge. Chen Hao cut him off. What do you call that? Zhongbei couldn't speak. And moreover, Chen Hao added, the victim's father is a criminal defense lawyer. He paused for a moment. Brother, you've gotten yourself into trouble. Zhongbei's mind went blank. He thought of that smile Qian wore before leaving the room. That kind of light, faint smile. Looking back now, that wasn't a smile. That was a judgment. Chapter 5. Zhongbei has been criminally detained. The news came out on the afternoon of the next day. The entire Wenshang College exploded with reaction. Zhongbei is not the best student at school, but he definitely counts as a successful person, secured a guaranteed postgraduate recommendation, served as the vice president of the student union, is a hot topic among teachers, and is a core member of the school's debate team. Such a person suddenly gets detained. The reason is that he drugged a female student from the same school, dormitory group. Class group. Grade group. Confession wall. All are talking about it. Zhongbei. The one who was pretty cool on that debate competition. No way. No way. He looks quite decent. I heard it's a triazolam. Who on earth would mess with this stuff? What is the purpose? Why did he drug her? There is no definite answer to this question for the time being, but the fact that Qian did not take the exam on that day is clear. Then various guesses began to fly everywhere. Fong Ning panicked at this moment. She sat on the dormitory bed, the light from her phone screen casting a pale glow on her face. Her roommate came back, seeing her like that, and asked, "Ning Ning, what's wrong? Did you see the message about Zhongbei?" Fong Ning looked up. He won't turn me in, right? The roommate froze. What do you mean? How is it any of your business? Fong Ning's lips trembled, and she didn't speak. She picked up her phone and sent a WeChat message to Zhongbei. "Brother Bei, are you okay? You didn't mention me, did you?" She sent it, and there was no reply from the other party. The message showed as unread. Phone was confiscated. Fong Ning's heart sank little by little. She wasn't unaware that Zhongbei wanted to do this. To be precise, it was her hint. A week ago, she accidentally mentioned in front of Zhongbei. So annoying. We happen to be in the same exam hall as Qian. When I see her I get nervous. Then her eyes turned red. Forget it. Forget it. I won't say it anymore. I don't want to affect your mood. Does she know how Zhongbei will react? She really didn't expect to drug him, but she knew Zhongbei would speak up for her. This was the conditioned reflex she had cultivated over 3 years. As long as she cried, Zhongbei would rush in. Only this time, she went too far. Fong Ning bit her lower lip and began to search for a way out. The thing she was best at, cutting. Her relationship with Zhongbei ambiguous but not confirmed. He chased me and I didn't agree. The matter of drugging I was completely unaware. I am also a victim. The matter of bullying I did feel at the time that I was targeted. This was my true feeling. Fong Ningxin took a deep breath and felt that she had understood. As long as she insisted on not knowing, nobody can touch her. She lay back down on the bed, pulling the covers up to her chin. Close your eyes. However, what she doesn't know is that the voice memo on Qian's phone from 3 months ago, "I was just being dramatic at the time," has already fallen into Xiaoli's hands. What she doesn't know even more, during the second interrogation, faced with the pressure of potential harsher punishment, Zhongbei chose to honestly disclose the motive. He said, "Fong Ning said she was afraid when she saw Qian. That's why I wanted to help her." The case-handling police officer made detailed records. And he asked again, "Fong Ning, do you know you intend to drug him?" Zhongbei hesitated. Then he said a sentence that was extremely crucial. "She should know. I told her I would ensure Qian wouldn't appear in the examination room." She said, "Do as you like. I don't want to see her anyway." Ending the writing. On the other side, there was an extra document on Qian's desk. It was sent by counselor-teacher Zhou, the records of the mediation in freshman year regarding the conflict between Qian and Fong Ning. Qian turned the pages. What is written on the white paper in black and white is: after investigation, Qian, as the head of the physical education class, recorded attendance for late students according to established rules, which is a normal management action. No targeted verbal abuse or physical violence was found. Conclusion: it does not constitute bullying. Qian looked at the document stamped with the college seal, a slight smile tugging at the corner of her mouth. After reaching this conclusion back then, Fong Ning did not receive any punishment. She changed his approach, continuously shaping a victim persona on social platforms. The college cannot reach the circle of friends. But this official conclusion, plus Fong Ning's own audio saying "I was just being a little pretentious," plus the testimony in Zhongbei's statement that Fong Ning allegedly participated in the planning. 3 pieces of evidence point to the same conclusion. Fong Ning manipulated Zhongbei's emotions for a long time using a fabricated being bullied experience, which ultimately led to this criminal act. She is not the victim. She is the fuse. Qian picked up his phone. organized these materials into a complete timeline document, and sent it to Qi Zheng. Qi Zheng replied with a message. If Fang Ning knew in advance and did not stop it, she would be suspected of being an accomplice. But the evidence gathering is difficult and requires Zhong Bei's statement plus objective corroboration. Your voice message needs further legal validation of its probative value. Qi Yan thought for a moment and sent another message. Dad, I don't necessarily want to send her to jail. People like her experience social death. More painful than imprisonment. Qi Zheng's reply didn't come until after 10 seconds. You make the decision. Dad will support you. But the bottom line is within the legal framework. Qi Yan turned off his phone. The sky outside has darkened. In the night of December in Linen. The cold cut to the bone. Qi Yan huddled in the chair, staring at the evidence folder on the computer screen. 3 years. Since freshman year. I was falsely accused. She carries the label of a bully on her back. The club withdrew. Friends drifted apart. Even when preparing for the graduate entrance exam or looking for study partners, there are people whispering behind your back. Don't get too close to Qi Yan. She's bad news. She doesn't feel no pain. I just feel that it's not worth arguing about. Now it seems that it is time to reckon. Not to avenge, but for the truth. Qi Yan rubbed his sour eyes and opened Xiao Li's chat window. Li, how's your article coming along? Xiao Li replied instantly. The first draft is done. I've come up with 3 titles. You can pick one. A. On the eve of graduate school. Poisoned. A bully's confession. B. A graduate candidate. Tranquilizers. And a ruined exam. C. She pretends to be a victim for 3 years. He destroys futures with a cup of aphrodisiac. Qi Yan watches the screen. C. Received. Send it tomorrow. Qi Yan puts down the phone, leans back against the chair. The wind howled outside the window. She closed her eyes. Starting tomorrow. The roles of offense and defense will switch. Chapter 6. Xiao Li's article was posted on the campus official WeChat account. Not an official account, it is a student-initiated internal campus news account with over 30,000 fans. Called Linda Observation. Xiao Li is the main writer for this account and one of its founders. Publication time. 10:00 a.m. Title. She played the victim for 3 years. He ruined her prospects with a cup of sedative. The article does not name names. All parties involved used aliases. But those who know the inside story can tell at a glance who it is. The article structure is very clear. Part 1. What happened on the day of the graduate entrance exam, based on Qi Yan's statements and existing evidence. Part 2. The truth of the so-called bullying incident restored. University mediation records voice screenshots testimonies of the parties involved. Part 3. A manipulated relationship. How Zhongbei was subjected to long-term emotional manipulation, ultimately leading to crime. The entire text has no emotional wording, no sensationalism, no insults, only facts, only a timeline, only evidence. The more restrained, the more deadly. At 10:13, the view count exceeded 1,000. At 10:40, it surpassed 5,000. At 11 o'clock, it broke 20,000. The comment section exploded. After watching, my back felt chilly. 3 years of PUA. And in the end they put her away. So Fong X is the manipulator then. Damn. What a schemer. The most disgusting line is "be my woman as compensation." Buddy, are you here acting in a Korean drama? Classmate Chi is too calm. I would have collapsed earlier if it were me. This isn't called calm. It's don't mess with the people you shouldn't mess with. Fong Ning saw this article at 11:30. Her roommate forwarded it to her. Ning Ning, take a look at this. Is it about you guys? Fong Ning opened the article. Read from the top to the end. The phone almost slipped from his hand. That voice recording in which she said I was just being dramatic note. Keep original meaning. Was made public. Although a pseudonym was used. Although the audio itself wasn't posted. But the article quoted the content word for word. Noting the time, occasion, and the number of people present, Fong Ning's hand began to tremble. She quickly opened her own moments. There have already been a few subtle comments in the comments section. Ning Ning, is this about you? Sis, are you okay? I'm a little confused after reading that article. Fong Ning. If what the article says is true, I think you owe everyone an explanation. Fong Ning's mind was buzzing. Her first reaction was denial. She typed a message at lightning speed. Hello. I saw that article. I don't know who wrote it, but if you're doubting me, I just want to say, I have truly been bullied. My feelings are real. You may not believe me, but please do not inflict a second injury on a victim. Posted on social media. Attached a black screen image. However, this time and it was different from before. In the past when she cried, she posted. And underneath were all pity hug ignore them. This time, the comment section was quiet for quite a while. Then someone left a message. Ning Ning. In the article you mentioned mediation records and that voice message. Are they real? Fong Ning's fingers froze. She didn't know how to respond. Say fake. What if Qi Yan produces the original evidence? Say real. Then she would be admitting that she lied for 3 years. Fong Ning stared at the screen, unable to type a single word. 10 minutes later, she deleted that moment's post, but the screenshot had already been saved by someone. In the afternoon, the college's student affairs office found Fong Ning. Student Fong Ning, regarding the content involved in that online article. The school needs to understand the situation. Do you have time? Fong Ning's face turned pale. Okay. The same afternoon at 3 o'clock, Qi Yan received a phone call from the graduate admissions office. Qi Yan. Hello. I am Teacher Wang from the graduate admissions office of Linen University. We have received your statement of circumstances and the filing certificate from the Public Security Bureau regarding your absence due to force majeure. We will report to the Provincial Examination Institute for a study and handling plan. Qi Yan gripped the phone tightly. May I ask roughly when there will be results? We need to wait for the public security authorities to issue an official case explanation letter. Your attorney is already coordinating. Okay. Thank you, teacher. After hanging up, Qi Yan took a deep breath. She knows this is not as simple as it seems. The postgraduate entrance examination is a national unified exam. There is no easy chance to give her a makeup exam, but at least the process has started, and Qi Jing is already researching a direction. Special handling in cases of force majeure absence from exams due to criminal behavior. Is there a legal basis? Yes. Are there many precedents? Not many, but Qi Jing said one sentence. There aren't many precedents. So we will create that precedent. Qi Yan put down his phone and returned to the desk. A message popped up on the computer. It's Xiao Lu. The article has already been asked to be deleted by the school authorities. Qi Yan raised an eyebrow. How many reads so far? 68. 000 before deletion. That's enough. Screenshots, forwarding, and reposting across platform sites gotten out of control. It makes no difference whether you delete or not. Xiao Li posted another message. And there's good news. What? Just now a legal blogger contacted me, the kind with over 3 million fans. He wants to do a legal analysis video about this case. Chayan's fingers paused on the keyboard for a second. Then she typed 3 characters. Give it to my dad. Received. The old fox takes action. Qi Yan smiled a bit, then closed the chat window. The sky outside has turned gray. This is the second day after the incident. Zhongbei is in the detention center. Fong Ning is in the student affairs office. And she sits in the dormitory. In front of her is a cup of warm boiled water. Everything has just begun. But Qi Yan knew the hardest part was over. The moment he woke up in the hotel room and found out he had missed the exam. That was the most painful. Every step after that. It was all happening as she took back Hua. Tea belonged to her. Chapter 7. Zhongbei had been confined for the 4th day. His parents finally arrived in Linen. Father Zhong is a relatively successful merchant in the local building materials business. known as a figure around town. When he went to the police station, he came with a local lawyer. My son is absolutely not that kind of person. Mother Zhong cried in the reception room, unable to catch her breath. He was just momentarily confused. That girl must be framing him. The local lawyer flipped through the case file, his expression not looking good. He pulled Mr. Zhong to one side and lowered his voice. Chief Zhong, to tell you the truth, you won't like this case. It's not easy to handle. Why is it not easy to handle? Mr. Zhong frowned. Isn't it just sleeping pills? There's no harm done. The corners of the lawyer's mouth twitched. Triazolam, a controlled sedative. Possession is illegal. Dispensing to another person or placing dangerous substances is a crime, punishable by up to 3 years imprisonment. The key is your son has already admitted it in front of the body-worn camera. In black and white, he confesses to the crime. Father Zhong's face changed. So, can we settle with the other party? Make it private. Pay money. The lawyer hesitated. I inquired about the opposing counsel's identity. Who? Qi Zheng, Jingheng Law Firm. Father Zhong had no idea who that name referred to, but the expression on the lawyer beside him told him that this was not simple. The Qi is a well-known name in the city's criminal defense circles. The lawyer said. Anne. He is the victim's father. Father Zhong fell silent. The lawyer added again. From my understanding of lawyers like him, you name your price. He won't take it. He isn't here for compensation. He's here for a verdict. Father Zhong stood at the police station door, the cigarette holder in his hand half burned for half a day without lighting it. Mother Zhong was still inside crying. Half an hour later, Father Zhong made a decision. He decided to find someone to make an introduction, to make contact. He gave a distant relative in the political legal system a call, tactfully expressing the idea of, could you help smooth things over? There was a moment of silence on the other end. Old Zhong, you should first check the online situation before saying anything. Father Zhong hung up the phone and opened his phone to search. Then his face turned completely green. That article that has been reposted countless times, she pretends to be a victim for 3 years. He uses a cup of date rape drug to ruin her futurious on every platform. The comment section is a sea of denunciations. 3 years is too light a sentence. These kinds of people will still harm others when they enter society in the future. The qualification for guaranteed admission must be cancelled. There is also the legal blogger with 3 million followers who has already posted a video. Title: Drugged on the day of the postgraduate entrance exam. The legal consequences of this case are much more serious than you might think. Views: over 4 million. The barrage is dense. Father Zhong turned off the phone screen. His distant relative sent another message. This matter is too ostentatious. Anyone who touches it will get stained. You figure it out yourself. Father Zhong finally lit his cigarette. He took a deep drag, and the smoke he exhaled dispersed quickly in the cold air. The next day, Zhongbei's mother somehow learned about Yan's dormitory location. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, she appeared downstairs at the dormitory building. Ling Yan's roommate Lin Xiaohe went downstairs to fetch a package and spotted a middle-aged woman loitering downstairs, carrying a large bag of fruit and an envelope. Lin Xiaohe's radar went off. She took a photo and sent it to the dorm group chat. There's an ant downstairs. She's carrying something. Could she be looking for Ling Yan? Qi Yan saw the news in the dormitory, walked to the window, and looked down. A middle-aged woman with curled hair and a mink down coat. Qi Yan couldn't recognize her face, but that direction right opposite the dormitory building entrance. She picked up her phone, took a photo, and sent it to Qi Zheng. Qi Zheng quickly replied, "Don't go down there. Let her talk to the counselor and go through the proper process. If she pushes her way to find you, call me." Qi Yan sat back down on the bed. 5 minutes later, Mother Zhong really came up. Not sure which classmate followed her into the dormitory building. When the knock sounded, Lin Xiaohe and the other roommate exchanged glances. Qi Yan stood up and opened the door. Mother Zhong stood at the doorway. The moment she saw Qi Yan, her eyes reddened. "Student Qi." Her voice carried a sob. Auntie, please. Zhongbei didn't do it on purpose. He was fooled by that Fong Ning told you be magnanimous. I'll kneel before you if you want. She really is going to squat down. Qi Yan took a step back. She didn't reach for the bag of fruit, nor did she glance at the envelope. Aunt. Qi Yan's voice was not loud, but it was clear. Mother Zhong's action froze. You should go find the investigating officer. Not me, Qi Yan said. And I suggest you leave. Why? Because your current behavior is legally called persecuting the victim. If I recorded it, it could be used as a factor for a heavier sentence. Zhongmu's face stiffened. Her lips trembled, trying to say something, but not a single word could come out. Qi Yan looked at her. I know Zhongbei is your son. Her tone was as bland as talking about the weather. But he ruined a year's worth of my hard work, ruined my exam, and even drugged me with controlled substances to make me unconscious. This isn't something that can be erased with it wasn't intentional. Please go back inside. You may return now. Qi Yan closed the door. The outside world fell quiet for a few seconds. Then came the suppressed crying of Mother Zhong and the gradually fading footsteps. Roommate Lin Xiao had jumped off the bed. You're too cool. Qi Yan. Qi Yan sat back in his chair and said nothing. She cast a glance at the door that had already closed. Her fingers trembled slightly. Not fear. It was anger. The mother of Zhongbei came to beg for mercy. What about her mother? After learning the news, when Ke rushed back from out of town overnight, and when he arrived in Linen he had a high fever all night. She is still lying in a hotel, hooked up to and for. Who will tell when Ke that it was not intentional? Qi Yan closed his eyes and suppressed the surge of air. There is no need for anger. Anger is a blunt knife. She wants quick, decisive action. Chapter 8. On the 7th day since the incident, the school formally initiated the disciplinary procedures against Zhongbei. The Student Affairs Office issued a notice. Upon verification, Zhongbei, a 2020 undergraduate student in the School of Industrial and Commercial Management, is under criminal detention by public security authorities on suspicion of committing a crime, in accordance with Article 52 of the Student Management Regulations. The university intends to expel him from the student rolls. This is now being announced publicly. The public notice period lasts 3 days. At the same time, the Academic Affairs Office, while reviewing Zhongbei's graduate study application materials, found a problem. In his comprehensive assessment, there is a suspicious item. Social practice extra points. A summer practice report was signed by Zhongbei and 2 other students, but in fact the other 2 students confirmed that they did the report. And Zhongbei was just listed as a co-author. Such incidents are not uncommon in universities. But at this critical moment, the nature is different. If there is fraud in the admission interview or comprehensive assessment for graduate school, his qualification for guaranteed admission itself would be flawed. The Academic Affairs Office handed the materials to the college. The college and the graduate school have come to an understanding. 3 days later, the graduate school revoked Zhongbei's admission qualification via recommended exemption. Reason: the comprehensive evaluation score had inaccuracies, and there were flaws in the procedures for obtaining the recommendation exemption qualification. Zhongbei's advisor issued a statement at once. They were previously unaware, and were deeply shocked and disappointed by the students' actions. When this statement was posted in the Academy's official group chat, Qi Yan was sitting in the library. She took a glance, then turned off her phone. Graduate admission was gone. Student status was gone. Next comes the criminal judgment. Qi Yan leaned back in the chair, looking at the book spread out before her. Strangely, she did not feel the sense of exhilaration she had imagined. It was only a heavy, finally relieved fatigue. Outside the window, students are walking on the road at the campus. The winter sunlight is thin, shining on the bare branches of the sycamore tree. At this time next year, she will have to take the exam again. She closes the book and takes a deep breath. Okay. No hurry anymore. Take it step by step. The phone vibrated. Qiaoli sent a message. Qi Yan, there's new information regarding Fong Ning. What? The results of the investigation conducted by the Student Affairs Office have been released. How to say it? Jiaoli sent a screenshot of photo of an internal college notice. Not sure where she got it from. The notice states, upon investigation. Classmate Fong Ning has been disseminating false information on social platforms for a long time, harming fellow student Qi Yan's reputation. In the Zhongbei suspected criminal case, Fong Ning is suspected of having prior knowledge and signaling, and of condoning. Subject to the conclusions of the Public Security Authority's investigation, the college issues the following disciplinary actions against Fong Ning. 1. Give a severe warning. 2. Cancel eligibility for awards this year. 3. Require the person to apologize to Qi Yan in person within the department. Qi Yan read it, and fell silent for a while. Apologize in person. She sent 3 characters to Qiaoli. Not needed. Qiaoli, why? You don't want her to apologize. Qi Yan. No. Her apology isn't worth anything. I don't need it. Qiaoli was silent for a moment, and sent an understood emoji, then added another sentence. So what do you need? Qi Yan thought for a moment. Nothing is needed. A disciplinary record will follow her file for a lifetime. That's enough. Qi Yan put down her phone. She knows Fong Ning won't go to jail. Hints and conventionless Zhongbei's testimony is very clear and has objective corroborating evidence. Insir hard to legally qualify as an accomplice. But it doesn't matter. Fong Ning's disciplinary record. The public reports about this matter, and those online articles that can never be erased completely. These things will follow Fong Ning for a long time. Postgraduate entrance exams, civil service exams, institution recruitment exams, and job hunting. Every background check reveals them. This is what Qi Yan calls social death. It is not a clean, immediate death. It is a slow, ongoing, shadow-casting cost. Fong Ning will repeatedly savor this taste for many years to come. In the subtle gaze of the interviewer, in colleagues' private whispers, in every form that asks, have you ever had any disciplinary actions at school? Qi Yan thinks this is fair. 3 years of false charges. Replace a lifetime of footnotes. Enough. At 5 p.m. Qi Jin called. Daughter. The reply from the Provincial Examination Institute has come back. Qian's heartbeat quickened a bit. How did they word it? They studied your situation and concluded, considering that the exam absence was due to force majeure caused by criminal acts, and there is a complete chain of evidence including a police filing, hospital blood test report, and the parties involved statements. Qi paused for a moment. I agree to let you take next year's graduate entrance examination, and this absence record will not be included in your integrity file. Qian's hand clenched tightly. Really? Yes. The formal documents will be issued tomorrow. Kai Yan's eyes suddenly brimmed with warmth. 1 year. She only needed to wait 1 more year. Not starting from scratch. With a year's worth of experience behind it. Try again, Dad. Her voice was a little husky. Thank you. The pool was silent for a second on the other end of the line. Then he spoke one sentence in a tone that rarely showed emotion. Gentle. You're welcome. You are my daughter. If the sky falls, I'll shoulder it. Qi Yan took a hard sniff, tilting his head back as tears were forced back. All right. No more melodrama. Qi Zhang's tone returned to normal. Your mother is being discharged tonight. We'll have a meal together. Okay. What would you like to eat? Hot pot. Done. Hanging up the phone, Qi Yan lay on the table and chuckled. Tears fell onto the notebook, spreading a small water stain. She rubbed her eyes with the back of her hand. Then she sat up straight. She opened the computer. She opened the graduate entrance exam review materials. Start from Chapter 1 of Politics. Restart. Chapter 9. 3 months later. Linen City People's Court. Open trial. Qi Yan sits in the spectator seating. She wore a clean white shirt, her hair tied in a low ponytail, holding a bottle of mineral water. Beside him sits Qiaoli. Qiaoli didn't have a camera. Photography was prohibited in the courtroom. However, she brought a notebook and a pen. This is what Qi Yan requested. Listen to this first, then write it down, Xiaoli said, nodding. The courtroom was modest. In addition to family members from both sides, several classmates from the same university were present at the hearing, having come voluntarily after hearing about the incident. Qi Yan's gaze swept over their faces without lingering. She looked at the defendant's seat. Zhongbei was wearing gray clothes, with hair grown considerably longer than 3 months ago, looking thinner by a circle. When he was brought in, his gaze flitted around the side seats. The moment his eyes met Qi Yan, his body visibly stiffened. Then he quickly turned his head back. The presiding judge read the indictment. The charge brought by the prosecution is intentionally releasing dangerous substances. The facts are clear. The evidence is conclusive. The defendant confessed without hesitation. The prosecutor stated the facts of the crime. On the night of December 22nd of a certain year, the defendant Zhongbei secretly added illegally obtained controlled tranquilizers. Suboxone. Wait. Triazolam is triazolam, a sedative hypnotic, a controlled drug to the victim Qi Yan's drink without the victim's knowledge, causing the victim to lose consciousness for more than 10 hours, directly causing him to miss the following day's graduate entrance examination. Qi Yan listened as the prosecutor's voice echoed in the courtroom. Every single character is very calm, but when those characters are joined together, the feeling from that morning 3 months ago returns. Wake up. 9:47. It's too late. Chiam's fingers tightened around the bottle of mineral water for a moment. Then he let go. The past has passed. During the defendant's final statement, Zhongbei stood up. He bowed his head, his voice very soft. I plead guilty. I am very sorry to classmate Qi Yan. I did something unforgivable. He paused for a moment. I just want to protect Fang Ning. I never imagined the consequences would be this serious. Qi Yan looked at him. 3 months ago, he stood in a hotel room, buttoning his shirt, speaking calmly, "Be my woman as compensation." 3 months later, he stood in the defendant's dock, lowering his head and saying, "I didn't expect the consequences to be so serious." He really didn't expect it, because in his understanding the idea of ruining a girl's postgraduate entrance exam was just delaying one exam, and next year I can take it again. He doesn't think it's a big deal. In his view, the compensation he offered is already quite generous. This cognitive arrogance, even more nauseating to Qi Yan than getting drugged itself. The presiding judge asked Qi Yan if the victim had any additional statements to make. Qi Yan stood up. The courtroom fell silent. Her voice was not loud, but every word was clear and distinct. He said, "I didn't expect the consequences to be so serious. But what I want to tell the court is for me, the consequences already occurred at 9:47 that morning. In that moment, a year's worth of effort became zero. Not a zero on the score, but my right to choose was taken away. I do not have the right to walk into the examination room, sit down, open the papers, and write the answers I had prepared for 365 days. He made this decision for me, with a cup of coffee." Qi Yan's gaze swept calmly over Zhongbei. "So I don't accept his apology. Not because I don't forgive. Because an apology can't change anything. I only need one thing, law. Give me an answer." She sat down. There was a brief silence in the courtroom. Xiaoli chose the pen cap beside him, the notebook in his hand filling quickly. Someone in the public gallery wiped at their eyes. The judge announced a recess and postponed the verdict to a later date. 1 week later, the verdict was delivered. Zhongbei was convicted of releasing dangerous substances and sentenced to 2 years and 6 months in prison. Illegally obtaining controlled psychotropic drugs. Multiple penalties to be applied concurrently. Actual sentence executed. 2 years and 8 months in prison. An additional civil compensation judgment. Qi Yan's various losses amount to 120,000 yuan, including compensation for mental distress. On the day the judgment was served, Qi Yan was studying in the library. Qi Jing sent over the judgment result. Qi Yan took a quick look. Then she opened the next page of the review materials. English reading comprehension. Passage 2. The concept of justice is not simply about punishment. She chuckled. It has been flipped over. Chapter 10. 1 year later. December. Postgraduate entrance examination first round. When Chi Yen walked into the exam room, sunlight was just right shining through the window, falling onto her desk. Seat number. Third examination room. No. 22. She sat down and placed her admission ticket and ID card at the corner of the desk. People around are doing a final pre-exam review. The rustle of turning pages. Someone softly muttering key political points. Chi Yen takes a deep breath. At this time last year, she lay on the hotel bed, her consciousness sinking, wrapped in drugs. This year, she is sitting here. The sun is bright. At 8:25, the proctor begins to distribute the papers. The papers are placed on the desk, sealed securely. 8:30 precisely to begin answering. Chi Yen holds the pen in his hand. At the moment the tip of the pen touched the test paper, a slight, involuntary upward curl appeared at the corner of her mouth. Waited 365 days. At last. I've waited for this moment. She has finished writing. After the exam, Chi Yen walked out of the examination building. 2 people were standing at the door. Xiaoli leaned against the flower bed, with a DSLR hanging around her neck, not here to shoot news, but to pick her up. Beside her was Wenku, Chi Yan's mother, holding a thermos in her arms. When she saw Chi Yan come out, Wenku's eyes lit up instantly. You're out. How did you do on the exam? Chi Yan walked over, taking the insulated cup from Wenku's hand and took a sip. Ginger tea. Hot. It's okay, she said. Xiaoli leaned in. Is politics difficult? Not bad. What about English? Not bad. Xiaoli rolled his eyes. You're good at nothing. Chi Yen smiled, when gently brushed her wind-tousled hair back. Come on. Let's go eat. Your dad is waiting in the restaurant. I booked your favorite pickled fish. The 3 of them walked side by side along the campus path. The December wind blows through the branches of the phoenix tree, and the withered leaves swirl on the ground. Chi Yen walked, then suddenly paused. She looked back at the exam hall building behind her. The sunlight shone on the gray-white building, and the windows reflected the light. A place she couldn't go a year ago. Today she came out from inside. Chi Yen turned back and quickened his pace, overtaking Wenku and Xiaoli ahead. Let's go. Let's go. I'm starving. Didn't you just drink ginger tea? Can ginger tea replace a meal? The laughter of 3 people drifted into the winter wind. 2 months later, the results of the first mock exam came out. The moment Chi Yen checked the score, 407 points. Exceeded last year's threshold by 52 points. She stared at the number on the screen for a long time. Then she sent a screenshot of her score to Qi Jing. Qi Jing replied with 4 characters. As expected. Chi Yen chuckled. She sent the screenshot to Xiaoli again. Xiaoli's reply was a string of exclamation marks followed by a voice message opening it. It was a scream. Chi Yen. Are you a human? 407. You're a robot, right? Chi Yen turned off the phone and leaned back in the chair. Outside the window was the sky of late February, a little bit blue. She thought of that winter morning a year ago. Hotel room 947. That man stood in front of her and said, "Be my woman as compensation." And she laughed. From that moment on, she knew what the ending would be. Not revenge, not hatred. It is. I don't need your compensation, because you don't deserve to be the footnote of my life. Chi Yen stood up from the chair and walked to the window, opened the curtains. Sunlight poured in, very warm. Afterward, Zhong Bei served 2 years and 8 months in prison, and after being released, he returned to his hometown. That criminal record in the archives followed him. He failed the graduate entrance exam, failed to pass civil service exams, failed to pass staff recruitment tests, and couldn't pass background checks at large and medium-sized enterprises. At 25, the road ahead in life had narrowed significantly. After graduating from Fongning, she hit a wall in job hunting. The severe disciplinary warning plus those articles that can always be found online turned every background check during interviews into a nightmare. She eventually took a clerical job at a private company in a small town. She never posted anything about being a victim again on her moments. In the past, Chi Yen was admitted with the top score in the re-exam. During graduate studies, 2 core journals were published. After graduation, joined a leading law firm, criminal law, specialized in representing victims. There is a photo frame on her desk. Inside is a photoon the day her postgraduate entrance examination ended. She stood in front of the examination building, taken by Qiaoli. In the photo she is smiling, holding up her admission ticket. Sunlight falls on the face, and the eyes are bright. A small note is pasted on the back of the photo frame. The handwriting is that of Qi Zheng. Above it reads, Qi Yen. All the justice in the world must be taken by oneself. Please like if you enjoy it. Thank you.